obviously, unbelievably proud of our guys, but even more important than that, I just want to say thank you to Tony Bennett. He's one of the classiest people in the world, let alone coaching. And because of the history of our school, in my 8 years, I've been trying really hard to schedule ACC schools. And I think everyone understands the history of South Carolina, where it was at in basketball. And our fan base wants it. Give Tony credit. He signed up for it and he was willing to do it and gave us the opportunity to come in here and play. Gave us obviously a home game last year. As we're trying to build our program to be given that opportunity by this university. Kudos to him, and extremely grateful for him giving us the chance to come play the game.
Frank, what the adjustments you made from Houston to Clemson and here to, how much of that did you keep, and how much of that is just, how much was this game an extension of those moves you made just a week and a half ago?
I told you guys, and I said it in a joking manner, but I kind of meant it. You know, we've played like a football team for 3 straight weeks, Sunday. So we've had unbelievable amount of time to kind of change some things around and really self-evaluate. And I'm not telling you I've made the right moves. I think our kids have, their spirit is really in a really good place, and they're committed to what we're trying to do. We got 6 days to prepare for this game, and we did things a lot very similar to what we did at Clemson. Offensively, made some adjustments on a couple little things to try and attack Virginia because they're so difficult to score on. And our guys executed. Outside for that segment, I don't know, about 14 minutes to go in the game or so, where we just created pandemonium. They forced us into trouble. They guarded it. Outside of that segment, offensively, I thought we played really well, and which allowed us to play halfway decent defensively.
Ball pressure helped leading the 19 turnovers. What did you like that you were doing there, and particularly with Kihei Clark forcing 7 from him? What was the approach there?
We take a lot of pride in how we defend, and I going into the year, I thought this team has a chance to be one of the better defensive teams I've coached because of our length at the guard spot. We've got a lot of really AJ's in the 6'6" range. Jair Bolden's in the 6'3" range, but he's 6'6" lengthwise. Cousinard is same thing. Long, we're long, and Jair's 210 pounds. Cousinard's just big, strong dudes. Which, when you're long like that on the perimeter, gives you a chance. And now we've got Keyshawn Bryant back in there, which gives us a high. What's the word I want to use here? High IQ athlete that makes our defense even a little bit better with his athleticism and his length and his instinct. So, that's just like Tony. We spent a lot of time trying to defend. We defend differently, but we try to. It's funny because we're trying to keep the ball out of the paint, and so is he, and we just go about it different ways. And we obviously did a pretty good job of that today.
Frank, what did you see out of Jair today? And is he kind of morphing into the player you thought he would be maybe in the preseason?
Yeah, I mean, it's he could have pouted. I moved him off the point after the Houston game, and he could have done. A lot of kids in today's day and age, when you change their responsibility, they hang their head, they mope, they pout. It takes 2 weeks to get them back on board with what you're doing. Give him a lot of credit. He never pouted. He came in to see me. I'm not big on chasing kids around to force them into what I'm trying to tell them to do. He came in to see me after the Houston game, and he's had 2 great weeks of practice. And obviously, the second half of the Clemson game, had 2 great weeks of practice. The first half of the Clemson game, he still didn't play as aggressively as we're asking him to. And I sat him to start the second half. Not to send a message, I just wasn't happy with how he played. And once again, give him credit. Had a great second half, and parlayed that into a great week and came out here today ready to go. And when he jumped up and made that 3 early in the game, it gave our guys some life. And Jair's a real good player. And I'm still trying to figure out how to put him in the best possible scenarios for him to be successful. I think I'm doing a better job to give him the credit as I try to figure that out.
Coach, it seemed like early in the game, Jair got a foul called and kind of got a little animated, might have gotten a glare from you, went to the bench, came back in a different player. What kind of recentered him in that time?
Yeah, our guys were excited. You get an opportunity to play a defending national champion, top 10 in the country, and our guys were kind of jacked up. And he makes a 3 and then makes a great play defensively, taking the charge, and turn around and, we're playing. Here's another one. We're playing on national TV. We haven't done that all year. Our kids understand those things. So he makes 2 great plays, and when he takes the charge, he kind of got up and, stared the guy down or something. And I don't coach that. I'm not going to condone that. It's not about us individually. It's about us doing our jobs so we can all have success together. That's why I took him out. He knows. So, I'm sure my assistants behind me had a conversation with him and just got him refocused. And he came back in, and that was never a part of that. He hasn't done that all year, and that was never a part of the rest of the game either. I don't know why he did that. That's why I took him out.
Coach, 3-0 true road games now. A big part of those wins, though, has been points off the turnovers. Just how much are you starting to see this defense that you challenged a couple of weeks ago kind of form into what you expected them to be at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and you think about the Houston game, we turned them over 19 times. Houston doesn't turn the ball over at all. We just couldn't make a shot, couldn't score. And you can't score, it's really hard. And then Houston's built differently than Virginia. They've got like 5, 6'8" guys that are 240 pounds and athletic as can be. So we can never get that offensive rebound. We can never get that basket at the rim. They're just built differently in Virginia that way. But at the end of the day, we couldn't score. But we defensively, we fought them. We held our own. Then you're down 9 with about 5 to play or whatever we were down. I got to change our defense because now the game's getting short. So we got to figure out a way to create an easy basket. And unfortunately, what we created were dunks for them. So it took a 9, 10-point game, made it 20. But we got to make shots, and we made them at UMass. We made it at Clemson. We made them tonight. Didn't make as many as we should have tonight, but we made them. Made enough. That's giving us better spirit to keep fighting defensively.
You touched on defensively. Y'all had season high at 14 steals today. A bunch of those, especially in the first half, seemed to come from a defender off the ball coming and pickpocketing. Is that something you saw in the scouting report, or is that just kind of the way it happened? And also, who did have the scout for this game?
Barry Clark had the scout, and Tony's their offensive system puts a lot of pressure on your weak side help because the ball's always in the middle of the floor, and there's constant screening going on both sides. So if you're trying to deal with a screen on one side and they pass it to the other side, the guy that was on the right side of the floor, because of the way I'm pointing, I guess, he's going to be late on rotations. So we spent a lot of time on those issues, and our guys were pretty good. We never allowed them to catch the ball. I shouldn't say never. We made it difficult for them to catch the ball in areas where they can be really aggressive offensively, which then helped us. We got a little sloppy late in the first half, and we gave up some post-ups, not because the post defense was bad. Justin did what we asked him to do, give the young man credit for scoring, but on the perimeter, we allowed the ball to get too deep on the court. So, but they're good. I mean, they're going to go get the shots that they want. That's Virginia basketball. And I thought our guys were pretty good, but the help side defense was really good. That's where our length comes into play. Getting our hands in different places.
When that game
They tied it up at 44 or 45, and you guys went on that run afterwards. What does that say about the growth of this team, the maturity that you're asking for? Is that a moment where this could spark this team?
Yeah, I called a timeout when they cut it to 6. I want to say when we gave them 3 straight layups. And I wasn't as animated as I am sometimes, because we're trying to figure stuff out, and I also understand what we're doing. But I did challenge the guys, and then Virginia didn't stop, they kept coming. And then, you know, we foul him, and he misses the first, makes the second to tie the game. And then we responded with that. And I'm sitting on the bench saying, wow, that's pretty neat. You know, it's pretty neat that these kids, on the road, because now the crowd's in the game, and now they're going, and they're feeling good, and we made the plays, not just offensively, but defensively, to separate the game again. So it's, really proud of our guys. But Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. My fat rear end will be on the couch for 4 straight days.